stick by you all the way through.
Welcome back to Her Rules Radio. This is Alex Jameson, your hostess, and it's been a little while. I had to take a couple weeks off because I was having some lung issues. I was having a tough time breathing. Turns out I was having seasonal allergy-induced asthma. Not fun and a little wheezy. So podcasting was off the table. But this show, we are back. I'm feeling good, back on top, breathing fully. It's very exciting. And this show is dedicated to you, my dear rulers, my Her Rules Radio listeners. This is dedicated to you. If you feel like you are doing it all, but not feel like you have it all, you want to have it all, but instead you're just doing everything for everybody all the time. How much of what you're doing is actually for you? Are you getting what you want in return for all of this effort? Today's show is called Soul Models and Self-Knowing. And here are some of the things that I've been hearing from the women I work with, women who've been coming on attending my webinars. We've been doing amazing webinars for my little community of women. Creativity on really important questions that we need to be able to answer to get what we want. So these are some of the things I've been hearing. Some of the quotes from the ladies. I second guess myself a lot. I look for outside validation all the time. I feel stuck. I'm stuck in paralysis, overanalysis. I'm overly self-critical. I am so worried that people are going to think my passion projects are cheesy, or that people won't care, or that I don't have anything interesting to say. I don't have a sphere of people, creative entrepreneurs like me. I don't trust other women, so I downplay myself so that I won't be seen. Does any of this ring a bell for you? Well, the show is for you. Some other updates, some personal stuff. I am going to be speaking to you mostly one-on-one for the rest of the year. I have had a lot of guest experts and coaches and authors on the show over the last 200 episodes. 200. And I have a lot of new and old, yet refurbished lessons to share with you. So going forward, it's going to be a lot more of just Alex. Now, my dear friend Eric will be back on the show making some fun appearances, but for right now, you got me. And I want to talk about this concept that I'm calling soul models. So while I was a little under the weather with this weird chest thing, this breathing thing, that, by the way, made me feel kind of lightheaded off and on, felt like I was going to pass out a little bit, I went and got this emergency inhaler. I've never used one before. I've never had asthma before. And the whatever is in those inhalers, I think it's some kind of steroid, gave me such bad headaches. It's like, oof, the cure is worse than the illness. Am I right? So anyway, during that time, I went away with a couple of really amazing girlfriends, Rebecca Barucki of BecksLife.com and our friend Elizabeth D'Alto, creator of Wild Soul Movement. So these two women, Elizabeth was in town, Rebecca and I decided, hey, let's all get together. So what did we do? What did we talk about? These incredible women. Well, the three of us decided we wanted to get away. Get away, go away from our day-to-day, our home, our families, the kids. We wanted to hang out, have real talk, and we did. It was so awesome. We booked a little house on Airbnb in Sag Harbor, which is like this little small ocean town on Long Island Sound out near the Hamptons, which is super fancy. We stayed in a cute little, decidedly not fancy house. It was great. We were like 5-minute walk from the beach. And we talked about our businesses and our lives and our relationships and dating and sex and parenting and narcissists and our personal journeys. And the three of us, we talk in our work. We are all coaches and mentors and writers. We talk about our explorations as women and entrepreneurs. And we have all been in the health and self-help and personal development world for a long time. And all three of us are also really in the thick of it when it comes to anti-racism work. And we talked about how our industry has been very, very white dominated. And I have to own my responsibilities in that. I've been, blind. And I've been learning a lot from women like Rebecca, BecksLife.com, Catrice Jackson, Rachel Cargill, and many other Black women and women of color who are teaching anti-racism, writing, and leading workshops for white women on our place in this racist culture. And, as health experts and mentors and coaches for women, we have to examine how race plays a part in, and racism plays a part in the healthcare crisis that so many of us are in the trauma that so many women are suffering. And look, if this is your first time really hearing about this or thinking about it, and if you're new to these ideas, you might have a lot of fear or defensiveness or even anger pop up. That's pretty normal. But it's really a path of true healing and empowerment for especially the white women who are listening to learn the harmful ways that we exist in this toxic, racist patriarchy and how it's hurting women of color around us, even when we have dear friends or loved ones who are Black or brown or of Asian descent. And there's a lot to learn. And I promise you, I am brand new to this. I am a student and I will be for the rest of my life. And when you decide to step on this path, you can and will discover strength in yourself that you didn't know you had before and real healing. And you have to really look and be honest. And I encourage you to read and follow these women online and on Instagram especially. I am not a teacher. I can never truly be a teacher of any of this. I am a student, and I think I will be, like I said, for the rest of my life. This is a daily practice, and you have to decide to be in it. And as a white woman, I am not the person to teach any of this except to encourage other white women to get into this learning with me. So that brings me to the topic of soul models. Yes. I am so lucky. My life has been filled with soul models, role models, people who aren't afraid to look at their actions and stories honestly, those magical friends and family and teachers who let their messy selves be seen while they figure stuff out. The leaders who loudly or even totally quietly behind the scenes speak truth to power or just share and witness, even when it's unpopular. Those who stand up and fight for people with less access or privilege. Strangers who do the right thing, even if it costs them something. People who are willing to say they're wrong, they're sorry, and then do the work to change. Those who persist. These people make me try harder. They inspire me. My soul models make me want to work smarter, and so my own work gets better. And for each and every one of them, I know that I'm just one of many, many fans. So let's all strive to be that way, shall we? And when I was away with Elizabeth and Rebecca, we talked about this idea of soul models. And one of the things that we talked about was other women. Now, I don't like to gossip for gossip's sake, but this week I did something that I'm now calling gossip up. We gossiped up, not the mean girl, toxic kind of gossiping, but a very different, energetically clean gossip. Sitting around a beach house with these soul models, these soul sisters, Elizabeth Rialto and Rebecca Barucki, we talked about women that we absolutely adore and respect. And we shared what we admire about them. Who has a business or a way of teaching that we admire? What books are we loving and recommend? Who are we following? And what do we love about them? What do they inspire in us? And we also talked about each other and to each other about what we admired about ourselves and, just sending out rivers of love and oxytocin. And then we engaged in a more kind of bland, blank kind of gossip. We talked about people that we just weren't sure about. But it was very different from the kind of tearing down women who aren't in the room thing that I hate. It was more about checking our intuition and discussing possible partnerships with other women that we weren't sure about and just tapping into the communal wisdom. I was hurt by gossip many times growing up, and I know that I used gossip against other girls and women in ways that I'm still ashamed of. So I try to use a well-known phrase to stop gossip in its tracks when it comes my way. You can say this too. You can say, "Why are you telling me this?" It puts the attention back on the gossiper and makes them check their intentions very clearly. So I'll say it again. Why are you telling me this? Now, scientists believe that 60% or more of all adult communication is gossip, defined as talking about people who aren't present. It's a human strategy. It's a technique to keep track of everyone, and it isn't necessarily toxic, right? It's keeping track of everyone. But it can be and has become very toxic in many, many instances. So if you want to join me in this toxic gossip-free life, it's easy. The first step, only gossip up. That means complimenting people who are not there or sharing neutral information about people rather than tearing them down. Or number 2 is avoid toxic gossip by opting out, by just exiting the conversation or excusing yourself, go to the bathroom, whatever, or use that great line I shared with you. Why are you telling me this? Why are you sharing this with me? People get the hint real quick. And share the idea of gossip up with someone you know, someone you like, someone you trust. It helps to have other people in the game with you. So all of these conversations are ongoing. I'm always in these conversations with women that I love. My circle of friends has really evolved over the years, and people come and go, but there are a few foundational ladies who never waver, who I will never let go of. Brennan, JP, you know who you are. Anyway, these women who hold similar values, who are smart and compassionate, driven, curious, and really willing to look at their own shit and be held accountable. That's one of the foundations of my life and one of the 8 foundations that I teach. There are these foundational ways that we need to build our life through habit and action and relationships. And then there are what I'm calling these 5 magic mirrors. And these are ways of looking at ourselves with curiosity and joy and humility. It's a way of self-knowing. These 5 magic mirrors and 8 foundations are the bedrock of my work with women, how I mentor and coach, how I live my own life. And I love to work with driven, creative, professional women who are doing it all right, but they don't feel like they have it all yet. And they want all the things. They want all the ands. Right? They don't want to cut anything out. They want to feel fully fulfilled. They don't want to compromise because they have worked so hard, but they still have these negative thinking habits that suck their energy or waste their time. And I teach this fulfillment framework, which is based on the core values of nourishment, connection, desire, trust, and play. And those go really, really deep, each of those 5 core values. And those values help these driven, creative, professional women to get what they really want. Strength in body and mind, confidence, achievement, and recognition. And the 5 magic mirrors of self-knowing, how we look at ourselves honestly, feed our strength, confidence, achievement, and recognition, are nourishment. So this is one of the magic mirrors. It's a way of looking at ourselves. Nourishment means you are enjoying living in your body. You feel resourced. You feel healthy, vital, satisfied. And a way to think of this as a magic mirror is you ask yourself, does this feel nourishing to me? That's how you know that this is a self-reflection, that this action or behavior is going to be nourishing. Does this feel nourishing to me? The second magic mirror is connection. And this is when you feel loved and loving, you feel engaged, and revel in your authenticity and authentic relationships. And connection and communication are so closely linked. And the way to ask this of yourself and use this as a magic mirror is asking, does this feel authentic? Right? Is this true for me? The third magic mirror is desire. This is when we know what we want. We are clear on what we want, and we have meaning in our life, right? Our actions and our desires have meaning, and we're really shameless in declaring and owning that these are desires that we have. And the question to ask yourself is this what I truly desire, or is this a should? Right? The fourth magic mirror is trust. This is when you know yourself. You know and use your strengths. And you have clearly held boundaries. You honor your instincts, your intuition, and you feel like life is supporting you in taking risks, big and small. Your accomplishments feel valuable and unique to you. And the question to ask for this mirror for self-reflection is, am I trusting myself? Do I trust myself in this? And the final magic mirror is play. Yes, this is an interesting and very important one. This means you laugh often. There is joy. You have more positive emotions and know how to grow them. You're in touch with your creative fire and you enjoy these regular moments of fun and joy. And the question to ask to use this magic mirror for reflection is this fun for me? Am I having fun? So these 5 magic mirrors are how we truly know and accept ourselves. And when we know ourselves, when we trust ourselves, and we stop second guessing everything, we stop putting so much importance on what other people think of us, or we have a few trusted people in our life who we can open up to and show our hearts to, which is such a huge relief, which is why it was so special for me to go away with Elizabeth and Rebecca. We want to be known. We want to be really recognized and understood. We don't want to be picked apart, judged, put up on a block, and have people poking around our tender hearts. So, I love this quote from Dr. Joyce Brothers. Trust your hunches. They're usually based on facts filed just below the conscious level, right? And that's a way of speaking to this self-knowing, using these 5 magic mirrors where you trust your inner knowing. You've asked the questions often enough to know your desires, to know what you want, and to feel like you can own your desires. And, feelings and intuition are a valid way of operating in the world, not in a spiritual bypass kind of where you're running around not looking at things or avoiding your work in this life because I don't want to focus on the negative or, let me define spiritual bypass real quickly. Spiritual bypassing is a tendency to use spiritual, quote unquote, ideas and practices to sidestep or avoid facing unresolved emotional issues. It's when you deny the darkness or the tough stuff and try to hide it with a sparkly, feel-good Band-Aid. So, spiritual bypass is harder to indulge in when you use these 5 magic mirrors of nourishment, connection, desire, trust, and play. And that's what we want. We want to know ourselves and to honor ourselves and to feel right with and in ourselves. And one of the most important ways to have this self-knowing is to have those soul models, those role models who will see you, who you can trust, who you can be really honest with. It's a really, really valuable thing to have in life. So, this is my short little show today. I hope this was helpful. I would love to hear from you. You can hang out with me on Instagram @DeliciousAlex or on Twitter @DeliciousAlex as well. And don't forget that we have applications open on my website for the 2019 Vitality Mentorship Group. This is a group of about 10 women who will spend 10 months in a coaching program with me. We'll do group coaching and private coaching for you. And we'll have 2 amazing, incredible adventure retreats in New York City and in Southern California. So you can go to alexandrajameson.com/vitality-mentorship, or you can go to herrulesradio.com/shop, and it will have a link there. You can check out the program and apply to the Vitality Mentorship. And once you apply, and this is just telling me about what you're interested in, what your challenges are, what your desires and goals are, I will connect with you if it feels like a good fit, and we will have a conversation, you and I, together one-on-one, so that you can ask questions about the program, we can get to know each other and see if we are a good fit for each other. So, sending all my love and blessings to you. We'll be back next week talking about the hot topic of family holiday gatherings, how to keep your shit together, have boundaries, stay healthy and sane, and even have a good time. All right. See you here next week. Mwah! So excited that you're going to be back here with me for this brand new season of Her Rules Radio. And I wanted to make sure that you knew about 2 very cool things happening. First, my husband Bob Gower and I wrote a new book called Getting to Hell Yes, which is a conversation that will change your life. It's something that we use in our businesses and in our family all the time. So you can get it for free at gettingtohellyes.com, or you can download it for 99 cents in the Kindle store on Amazon. Lastly, I have a brand new way for you to help support the amazing sponsors of this show and get some very cool things in your life. You can go to herrulesradio.com/shop and find all of the wonderful makers and products that I use in my life that I have enjoyed making partnerships with. So go check out herrulesradio.com/shop, and we'll see you soon on the next episode.